Coaching cycle off the field, plenty of surprises. Really one of the biggest surprises. The Las Vegas Raiders have hired Pete Carrol, 73 years old, Super Bowl winning coach with the Seattle Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. He is now their head coach, going to be 74 by kickoff, but the gum-chewing grandfather, certainly one of the youngest 73-year-olds you could ever imagine, also faces a big decision at the quarterback position. The Raiders still need one. Keep an eye on this. One of his good friends is still Russell Wilson, the Steelers quarterback. My understanding is Russell Wilson wanted to play for the Raiders last year. Did not happen. Look for that union potentially to be discussed.
When I heard that report from Ian Rappaport, it tickled me. I care first and foremost about the Steelers organization, and I don't want Russell Wilson to come back. That being said, I happen to really like Russell Wilson, the guy. Him going to Children's Hospital all the time. Him handling the quarterback situation well with Justin Fields. I want to see him land someplace. And while I don't think that Las Vegas is some grand destination, if he can go play for Pete Carroll, the gum-chewing grandfather, that makes me happy for him. And I think it's a realistic, legitimate suitor. I don't think he's going to wind up with the Giants. I don't think he's going to wind up with the Jets. I don't think he's going to wind up with any of the other quarterback-needy teams out there. This makes a ton of sense. I could see the Raiders pursuing him doggedly as a stopgap quarterback for them because they want to legitimize their franchise. You talked about this. Was it you and Pat on Thursday? I said, why would they hire Pete Carroll? And you said, stabilize the damn thing.
Yeah.
Even if he's only there for a couple of years, well, I think Russ could help stabilize that. So, Russ, fare thee well. Go to Las Vegas, pal. We're all rooting for you.
I think it'd be the perfect situation, and and with Tom Brady having his hands and in the pot here with a lot of the decisions being made, that was much needed. And Mark Davis actually recognizing that, saying we need stability at every single level of our organization. Enough with the revolving door of coaches, GMs, and this team. We need to stabilize this. So they, Tom Brady got a stake in the company, and they gave him some power to make some moves, and then you hire Pete Carroll to stabilize that, and then you have somebody in waiting that could be the next head coach of the future of the Raiders. But you also want to do that, especially if you're in the market of getting a quarterback in this draft. If you do have a Shedeur Sanders that does fall to you, Russell Wilson, as you did your evaluation on how he handled the situation in Pittsburgh this year with Justin Fields. You watch that. You see how he handled that. You say, Russ, you're our starter this year, and Shedeur Sanders or whoever the quarterback is they draft this year or next year, you're going to sit and you're going to watch. You may get an opportunity if Russ does go down, but Russell Wilson can be that advisor to that next quarterback, and so can Pete Carroll. I think that this would be almost an absolute fit for both sides.
And Russ has spoken about how much he loves Pete Carroll.
Oh, yeah, that relationship. I think people did say it was fractured a little bit, but I don't think it was ever really fractured. I think that they always were in lockstep. It just their time ran its course in Seattle.
Yeah, and that happens.
Yes.
And I think it had more to do with Russ's teammates and the divide between the defense and the offense, and Pete Carroll, a defensive guy. But one of the things that was alleged from that defense was that Pete was trying to get Russ to be the hero in that Super Bowl against the Patriots, which would mean that obviously Pete had Russ's back if those defensive players are to be believed. That's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, how much longer am I going to be doing this? Now I'm going to get to go do it potentially with a guy that I love and respect. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
And I looked around and I didn't think there were a whole bunch of suitors for Russ. That made sense because Russ wants to win, but short of winning, I don't want to go mentor somebody someplace else unless it's a comfortable situation for me.
Yes.
Well, with that guy, it's a comfortable situation. So I think that actually helps the Steelers. As for Justin Fields, a couple of reports out there that the Giants are really interested in Fields. And I go back to when they were 4-2 and they benched Justin and he handled it perfectly. I mean, that is how you should show every single athlete.
Yes.
When they enter whatever respective league. How do you deal with adversity? Justin Fields, that's the book right there. He handled himself great. But in the back of my head, I'd be thinking, you want me back? You didn't want me at 4-2. I was playing good football. I have better winning percentage than the guy you benched me for. Like he went, 6-6? I went 4-2. You bench my ass? Okay. I respected it at the time. I'm going to be a good teammate, a good leader, But you want me to come back now and you just expect me to sign on the dotted line without asking any kind of questions? No, screw that.
It's exactly what Mason Rudolph did.
Yep.
Exactly.